Welcome to day 3 with a little bit from me and a whole bunch from Neel Dhingra, our good friend. It's going to be an awesome hour together. All right, let's go back to chat. Tell us where you're from today. Let's go. Let us know where you're coming from. Lives down Porter Ranch, Hovick. Nice to see you. Tennessee, beautiful. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Atlanta, Scottsdale. Let's go, Missouri.
I saw Canada being
represented. We gotta get somebody from Canada.
Yeah.
Let's go. Corey, look excited, man. Corey Barnes, look excited. What happens when you're on page 1?
I've been on page 56 all other 2 days.
Oh my gosh. You deserve to be on page 1. Let's go ahead and activate the webcams, guys. This is a community of people wanting to learn, grow, and get better. Awesome. We will go 1 more minute or so, and we will kick it off.
Perfect song for today.
All right.
Personal branding. Come on.
Love that. After our talk, I've got water and I've got internet.
Just be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions.
The door when they hit, but no one said just leave it at the front door.
That question, Marnie. Who's been here all 3 days? I have.
Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions.
Hey, Jeff Scott, way to be here, buddy.
All right, Sonia, 30-second countdown.
I like seeing the more and more pouring in every second. It's awesome.
All good, man. All good.
Even got Marnie dancing.
Beautiful. Marnie's she's got mojo. She's got a vibe. It's all very, very good. It's fun to watch the energy pour through. Hey, happy Thursday. Let's go. Congratulations to you guys for coming back on Thursday. And if you are new and joining us for the first time, welcome. If you've been here all 3 days, very, very proud of you. And here's a question to start. We began on Tuesday talking about the idea of conversations. And I asked you yesterday how many of you made the conversations happen, and you reached out and you called partners, you called borrowers, and then I asked you to indicate how much do you think you got from that? Did you get another loan? Did you get a good referral? Did you get something like that going? And it was wild to see how many yeses filled the chat. And then yesterday, we talked about collaboration, and we talked about this idea of looking at every single borrower that's in the marketplace, and the more than 90 days and less than 9 months or 12 months, whatever you wanted to pick. That is the collaboration between your partners to take every single borrower that you have a chance to talk to and build out that nurturing plan where when this market changes and when the appetite to take action and make an offer on a property and go into contract is right for the people that are in that funnel, you guys will have done all the hard work. You will have created trust. The brand will be connected to the borrower. The borrower will love you. And by the time they're ready to go into contract and do a loan and buy a home and start building wealth or buy up to the next or buy investment, whatever it is, you've already built a relationship. And you guys all said that if you did that, you'd probably be able to get another 3 to 5 loans a month. So today it's about one word that Brian Covey brought up on Monday, and it's a word that Denise brought up yesterday. And I'm sure it's going to be a word that Neel brings up today, but it's the word consistency. And I think as I look at the millions of people that I've had a chance to influence through my brand and the 30 years I've been teaching, the 12 years I did loans, I would tell you right now that the absolute definitive differentiator on how successful somebody can become, both in off the job, on the job, health, wealth, all that kind of stuff. It's the consistency of habit, right? And one of the things that happened in 2020 when we went live stream with Mastery is we had James Clear on, who's the author of Atomic Habits. And James Clear talked about this idea of consistency, and that all great teams and all great athletes and all great people that achieve something, they understand the power of consistency. So here's a question I want to ask you before we hand the spotlight over to Neel. I want to ask you an honest question, and I have a motive for asking this question, but the motive is purer than you can ever imagine. If you took what Brian talked about and the conversation piece I introduced you to, and you take what Denise did yesterday, talk about just coming full speed on what you need to do, and the idea of collaboration. And then today, you already can look at how much more valuable would it be for me to be consistent in these disciplines. Okay, so those are the three things. I would like you to put a yes in chat if you feel that these last 3 days have created, if you do what we talked about, a minimum of $5,000 a month in revenue. That's the question. I just want to test it right now. It's a why if you feel this has created at least $5,000 in revenue per month for you. Keep going, keep going. I want to see it. I want to see it all. I want to see it all, see it all, see it all. Keep going, keep going. Yes, April's got 5 yeses. I love you, April Blackwell. You are so good, so good. And the good news is, if you're just joining us today, you're going to be able to go back and listen to the replays. And today is going to be a beautiful way to have our 3-day challenge kind of climax with our good friend Neel Dhingra. Neel has done a lot of beautiful things, but the one thing I think that I would say about Neel is that he has proven that not only consistency, but that showing up online and bringing your brand online has every power possible to change your world and change the world of the people that you serve. He's taken his business from a local business to a national superpower by connecting with people. He knows what he's talking about. I've watched him create a personal brand over the last 5 or 6 years that is second to none. And he's about to share with you exactly how he did it. He is the innovator behind a beautiful event called Forward. He will be with us at Mastery. You're going to get some time if you sign up to be in his inner circle and kind of play around with us, as it will be the same case with Denise and with Brian. But Neel, it's great to have you here, buddy. And I want to thank you for giving us an hour of your life and the energy that you're going to bring. And I know that you have a lot to share with people. So, Sonia, I'm going to turn it over to our good friend Neel Dhingra. Everybody on screen right now, big round of applause for Neel. Good job. Let's go.
Hey, thanks, man.
Hey, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Todd. And really good to see all of you guys. Can you guys hear me okay? Thumbs up
Yeah,
on screen.
you're good.
You can hear me good. All right, awesome.
Kick me off, Sonia.
Yeah, so I've got I'm really excited for the session today because I've got a lot of cool things to share. And a lot of people, how many, just give me just so I can get a feel for them. How many of you are familiar with my content? Just give me a yes in the chat, a Y in the chat, if you're familiar with my content. Okay, cool. No for Eric, that's fine. And if you have never, this is the first time you're seeing me, or a Y if you are familiar. Okay, great. So it's about 50-50. Okay, this is awesome. So I've got some great stuff to share with you. It's good to see some of my friends on the call, and then also some new friends. And just so you guys understand this, the strategy I'm about to go through today is literally the blueprint for how I changed my business and, went from mid 6 figures to multiple 7 figures in the mortgage business, helping, real estate partners, helping borrowers every day. We have a team now, and scaled that business. And then also, launched a side business, like almost just a passion project, a side hustle that turned into its own behemoth, like its own huge business, not by intention, but just because of how powerful this is. So it's almost like I accidentally did some of this stuff, but along the way, I realized how powerful it is. And I think the part that people don't realize is you want to go where there's opportunity, right? Everyone talks about like, hey, where's the opportunity? And I think a lot of people here today feel like, hey, man, our industry is not as easy as it used to be. Maybe the opportunity, the best days of the mortgage industry are behind us. Well, I believe the opposite. I believe that right now truly believe this, that there's never been a better opportunity to go through what we're talking about today because of how burnt out people are and how little they're showing up. And so you can be the person who shows up. And I will just tell you this right now, the people who I know in my network, and I get to collaborate with people who make, multiple 7 figures a year in today's mortgage and real estate market. And I get to collaborate with all these, big influencers and business leaders and entrepreneurs at our events. And I will tell you the one thing that I noticed of all of them is they just have enthusiasm. You know what I'm saying? Like Todd's pumped to be on the call today. Don's here. Everyone's just ready to go. And these are the people who are going to win. People can tell if you're into this or not. So first, before I get into any video strategy, which I'm about to get in, I'm going to get super tactical with you guys. I'm going to give you like literally the ideas you can use right after you get off the call. But before we do any of that, I think it's time to get refocused on what we do in this industry. We're blessed to help people with this amazing thing of homeownership, right? And let's get our head wrapped around that. How many of you on this call right now have clients that are in a home today because of the work you did, specifically because of the work you did? They got the deal done. They wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have done it elsewhere. Just give me a yes in the chat. A lot of people, right? So let's get like our head wrapped around this. The chat is blowing up with yeses, right? Because the work that we do matters. Your advice matters. And so first and foremost, let's get re-energized about this. I just drove into the office today. I joke about this all the time, but there's so much construction in Vegas here. There's people outside right now. It's 111 degrees. They're digging a ditch. They're literally like working outside. Bro, we get to be like type buttons on this iPhone and, be on Zoom today and help people get into homes and all these cool things. Like, dude, we're blessed to be able to do the work we do. Yeah, it's not easy, but I will just tell you to get that perspective again, because the burnout is real. I totally believe that, but we got to get around this. So if you guys bear with me, I'm going to share a few things with you and then we'll get rolling. I just want to make sure we get our mind right first. So I would just love to know from you all right now, give me this really quick. What is the reason why someone would refer you currently business? Like, why would they send a client to you? Just what is the reason that they believe that? Just type it in the chat right now for me. What would be the reason why someone refers to you? Michaela said really easy. She answers her phone. They get it done. The reputation. You help push past things when others couldn't. High trust. Okay, good. Integrity. I'll make it happen. Ethics. Integrity. Don said it's because of his good looks. All right, man. That's good too. Low rates. Fast service. Okay. History. All right. Awesome. And the units. Okay, cool. So let me share this with you guys. These things that you guys are talking about right now, I believe are part of your reputation off the internet, right? This is some of you are posting content. Some of you are not consistently posting content. And so if you think about this, guys, this is your reputation off the internet. Okay. This is how many opportunities you get. Now, all I'm saying that we're going to do today is we're going to put this same thing on the internet, essentially. That's all I did. And then the number of opportunities that came to me exploded. So I'll just, at a basic level, there's this small circle of people that refer you clients right now. And based on the things that you just typed into the chat, that's why they send you a client. Well, what if we took those same things and made sure that people online knew this as well? What if we made that circle, instead of a few hundred people, a few thousand people? So I'm not talking about, hey, let's get tens of hundred thousands of followers, millions of subscribers online. Like, that's all fine for people who sell, who are trying to build a brand and do all that stuff. And it's cool when it happens to people in our group. But what's more impactful is just getting in front of the right people, being intentional with the content. So I'm going to show you guys how you can do this. And then what's going to happen is the same reason why someone refers you here, they're going to refer you there, as long as the things are in the content. And so we have to be strategic about this. We have to make sure we're inserting that. So if somebody here is like, man, I get stuff done, I'm working on this and this and this, we're going to put out information, but also I need you to let people know the work that you're doing. I call this build in public. Let people know, like, hey, I'm just leaving the office today, man. It was this is by the way, this is not a viral video, but for the people that are in your circle, you have to let them know what you're doing, the sacrifices that you made, how you've helped these clients, success stories. I think we do so much work behind the scenes and no one knows about it up front. And then we wonder why we get treated poorly. Like imagine like, hey, dude, these people never treat me with the respect I deserve. Well, they don't know the work that you put in. I talk to so many people in the mortgage industry who are like, man, I don't want to post when I'm on a vacation because I don't want people to not refer me, but B, Um, I don't want them to think like I'm not that, I'm showing success or showing off. Well, the reason why you're uncomfortable sharing your success is because you didn't share the work. If you share the work, people will send you messages when you're on these things of like, yo, great job. Hope you enjoy the trip with your family. Like, have fun. Awesome. Like they'll connect with you on this. So think about putting all these things online. Social currency
Well,
is a new
these
currency.
people in Boulder were super cool. I mean, they were on it.
Then
They were
here's the
just
thing that
like, we try and
we need to mute somebody, bro. And then here's the thing that people need to understand right now, just to set the stage. The old model was to get a lot of business from a small circle, your sphere of influence, past clients, friends, and family. The problem, the shift that's occurred, and people aren't, fully getting aware of this, is that's not enough anymore. The number of referrals you get from your sphere isn't enough to sustain a huge business or go to the next level. So if you really want to scale and you want to be out of that grind mode, we need to go to the new reality, which is get a little business from a lot of people. And this is the permanent shift that's occurred that's hurting people right now, is they're still using the old model. They're not into the new model. If you even look at the referral partners you have right now in the mortgage industry, how many of them are sending you the same amount of deals that they used to in years before? Like, you might get less number of applications and there's less closing. So just think about this. We want to get more of those lines out there. Think about yourself on a fishing boat, the number of lines you have out there. We want that to be just like surrounded with hundreds and hundreds of lines, fishing lines in there. You're going to catch more fish. The other thing I just noticed, and this sounds kind of harsh, is there's people here who are not posting. I looked at the attendee list and the register list, and we just randomly spot checked a few people. And I was like, oh, this person posted last week. This person posted today. But there was a lot of people, guys, who have not even made a post in weeks or months, or they just have some generic flyers. And what you need to understand is your silence on social media is a big sign that you don't believe in the product or service you're selling. And I understand that's not the case for you, but for many of you, but this is the message it's sending to the audience. And so if you're ever in a sales rut, yes, I know market conditions play a part in that, inventory, interest rates, all those things. But the biggest reason you're in a sales rut is because you no longer believe in the product that you're selling. It's easy to believe in home ownership and mortgage when rates are 3%. It's hard when it's 6%, right? It's harder. And so if you truly believe like this is the right move for people for the long term and the amazing benefits of owning real estate, we need to get around that. Like, we got to get that belief first. It's going to come through in the content. If you don't, that was the first part I talked about today. So for people here, we talked about why you refer. You need to insert those things into the content. Here's the system that has changed my business. It's changed my life, and it's helped so many people across the country who are in our group. Okay. There's 3 C's. It's content, connection, conversion. If you miss one of the components, you don't get the result. And I'm only going to have time to go through a little bit of this today. I'm going to do more of it at the event. And then we have a special session for some of you guys who have access to it. Some of you heard about it, but if not, I'm sure we'll let you know at the end of the call today. But essentially, we need to do all 3. Now, I notice a lot of people will just pop on when they want to do conversion to let people know that they have a home for sale or that they're ready for pre-approval, or call me for all your mortgage needs. That's the last step. If you haven't done the other 2 steps, the last step doesn't really connect, and you need to do it in the right way. Okay. I want to change the viewer's mind of like, yo, this is helpful content that, Don posted today. I want them to believe, oh man, I really got to work with this person. That's the person I want to connect with. And I want them to go from one of many. I want you guys to be the one person that they want to work with. And that's the strategy. So I'm going to go through the pillars for the content piece: education, entertainment, inspiration. Those are the 3 I use. I primarily do education, but there's a way to make information infotainment. And I'll share with you guys a few things on that. And then also, don't forget about inspiring people. Let people know why you do what you do. Drop some things along the way that inspire people. There's a guy in our group who is on a fitness journey. Okay. He's lost 70 pounds. So he shares that along with the mortgage stuff and the real estate market stuff. People are so connected to his journey that they'll follow for all the things, right? So if you're on any sort of thing where you've transformed, you're going through some sort of struggle and transformation, like, talk about that, inspire other people. You'd be surprised how much that connects with people, because you don't just want to be another content creator. And I'm going to give you guys, from the content perspective, the number 1 way to get business on social. This is the content that's performing the best for us in terms of getting new partners and new leads. And it is to prove competence. People want to work with someone who knows what they're doing. Then they want to be connected with them. Then you can convert them. But you need to first and foremost prove that you are that trusted person. You know what you're going to be the guide for them. And so one way of doing this that's working really well right now is if you can break down the news. So let me give you an example. Recently, I had talked about breaking down a news article. So this is the first strategy I want to share with you guys. Whenever you want to break down the news, when you start the video, if you would just grab a screenshot on your phone and put the screenshot of the article in the center of the video for the first 3 seconds, you're going to increase the number of views. So this is just one example where I talked about a few months ago that rates, I do this every week, by the way. You guys can check it out on my Instagram, and it crushes. But I'll take an article headline and then I'll put that for the first 3 seconds. And I'll ask people, have they seen this? Then I'll get into the information, and then I will give my opinion and the next steps. And so this is all in a 1-minute video. But whenever I do this, it doubles, triples, quadruples the reach. So I'll give you another example. On the last piece of this slide, my sister was sitting in her car and she was chatting with me about the week, and we were talking about the kids and all the stuff we're doing this weekend. And then she's like, I'm like, what are you doing now? She's like, well, I'm about to shoot a video in the car. I was like, well, what are you going to talk about? And she goes, well, I'm going to talk about clients that are feeling like they can't afford a home, even though they make $200,000. I'm like, great. Oh, that's a crazy topic. Okay, cool. Well, before you shoot that video, Shivani, let me give you a headline. So I went into my Apple News app, searched headlines of like affordability, all these kinds of things. I found one. I screenshot it, sent it over to her. She put it in the center of the video, just sitting in the car. And her video that normally was averaging around 3,000 views got 30,000 views. So it got a 10x improvement in the same video. So guys, if you're going to make the video anyways, wouldn't it be cool if we 10x the size of the audience that saw that video? Wouldn't it be cool if we even doubled it, right? So use this strategy. It works really well. The other thing you could do is you can put the headlines at the top, anywhere in the beginning, and then talk about it. So I'll give you an example of, a few months back when Trump was like demanding that interest rates should come down. President Trump wants to bring down mortgage rates, but it's not that easy. He can't just wave a wand and mortgage rates come down, because they move based on the bond market. And the bond market primarily moves based on inflation data. But there's something simple that the government can do right now that no one's talking about. They could either, President Trump wants... I talk about the thing, and then what's crazy is, I'm going to get into how you do that strategy. But that day, somebody was like, hey, Neel, I just Googled mortgage rates and your video popped up on Google. And I was like, what the heck? I would love to tell you guys I did this on purpose. But not only was I getting reach on Instagram, but this video popped #1 on Google. Why? Because on that given day, I was the only guy in the entire country, according to Google, who made a video that clearly spoke on what's going on with the rates right now and how it affects the consumer. Like, you think about the opportunity, guys. How the heck is that even possible, right? And so this is free traffic I was getting from Google. And by the way, I only had like a few hundred views on the video at that time. So I want you to make sure after today's call that you go into your Instagram and you go to the settings. On the privacy settings, there's a button that must be turned on, and it will allow Google to SEO index to your content. What you say in the video, what you write in the caption will be turned on SEO, and it can appear in search results. Some people have this option turned off. You're not getting the benefit. Some of you have it turned on. So make sure you check that setting. It's in your account settings in Instagram under privacy. Okay. And most accounts should have this. If you don't have it, you can drop in the chat. If we have time at the end, I can kind of give you some guidance on that. But it's cool. Like, I got free traffic from Google just for talking, and plus all the traffic. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates by. But I do this all the time where I talk about what's going on in the market. And what's crazy is, whenever I do breaking down the news as one of the strategies, which is one of 12 things that I do content on. But whenever I talk about breaking down the news, all these people in the industry, on top of the client seeing it, they share my video. Business partners share it. So this was just an example. This is all the people on Instagram stories sharing my video to their audience. And the crazy part is, guys, some of them will actually ask me first. They'll say, hey, Neel, do you mind if I share your video? And I'm like, please, go ahead. And I'm thinking in my head to myself, wait a second. Somebody else in the industry is asking me, hey, Neel, do you mind if I take your video and introduce you to all of the people in my sphere? Would that be okay with you, Neel? And I'm like, yeah, please do so. And even in some of these tags on here, they'll say, Neel, you said it better than most people. I finally understand this because of the way you explained it. So breaking down the news is huge value. The other thing you can do is local stuff. So sometimes I'm here in Las Vegas. I'll just talk about what's going on in the Vegas market. All right, so this is freaking crazy. By 2028, Las Vegas is gonna have a high-speed rail connecting Southern California and Vegas. It's only gonna take 2 hours to go back and forth. So on this one, literally what I did was I put the screenshot of the article, in this case it was a tweet, in the front of the video for the first few seconds, and then I just talked about it. I didn't have time to rehearse for that video or memorize anything. So I literally just read from my screen. As a result, Instagram showed it to people because the video was primarily about Las Vegas. They showed it to people who are thinking about moving to Las Vegas, looking at Las Vegas, some casual people, some obviously some people who want to buy real estate. Like that was the whole thing. So I talked about what's happening in the area and then why I believe real estate is a good investment in the market because of the growth rate. And so this video crushed on a local basis because of that. So there's a huge strategy around just talking about what's in your market. You can also, I know many of us on the call can do loans in multiple states, can do business in multiple states or refer them and still get paid. Like you can go local, regional, or national with any of these things as far as breaking it down. But I think you should pick and then just go hard in that lane. So the first thing, if you guys are, how many of you guys are with me on this? Is this helping you? Let me know in the chat a yes if this is helping you. And then we'll get into more strategy. If not, we can move on to something else. Okay, cool. So a lot of yeses. Awesome. So make sure you guys take notes on this. And then you can DM me on Instagram afterwards if you guys have questions. I'm happy to help if we have limited time today. Okay, so and by the way, the other way of doing this is a green screen video, which I don't have time to go through exactly how to do this, but essentially all I'm doing is putting the article behind me and talking in front of it. And every time I do this, it reaches a lot more people. The thing that most people in our industry make is your face and head is covering the article. Think about this. These publications took like months and the person is highly skilled at testing out headlines. And then they probably tested 12 headlines. They went with the one headline that's already going to get the most clicks. And all you have to do is just make sure that headline is seen because they've already done the heavy lifting for you. And then now you talk about it. Super simple. The other thing that you must do with this type of content is you can break down the news, but you need to give your unique point of view. I've noticed that people in our industry are scared to share their unique point of view. They're like, yo, what if I'm wrong? What if something changes? You know, what if I tell people a prediction that doesn't go right? I'm like, guys, based on the data, here's what you should share. And if you don't share your unique point of view, it's not about you. It's not a personal brand. So then it's just like the only advantage you have is literally if you're first on the news, you know, but most of the time people have seen it. Maybe you're bringing it to them for the first time, but then even if you're not first, you're unique because you have a point of view on this. So make sure at the intersection of you is your POV, point of view. Insert that into the video, just really simple. Because if you're saying the exact same thing in the exact same way, it's just noise. There are a lot of people making content. It is saturated, I will tell you that. But you know what's not saturated? The top 5% of people who are doing this with intention. And then you know where it gets really lonely and not saturated is the top 1% of creators where it's just open season, right? That's where the biggest opportunity is going to be. So I want you guys to move into this thing of doing it with intention. So I want to share with you guys just one thing. I've seen a lot of articles right now where people are talking about Americans getting priced out. I've also seen articles where in certain markets, they're talking about it shifting to a buyer's market. Does anybody here have an opinion or a unique take or some personal story or anything on the fact that the market has shifted to the buyers, or maybe even home prices are coming down a bit? Do you guys have an opinion on this? Let me know yes in the chat. Like, what is your thing? Michaela said, I think people win right now. Both buyers and sellers win. Okay, cool. That's a unique take. A lot of people in here are saying, yes, I do have some opinions on this. It's easier to get a buyer into contract. Only in some pockets, Jonas said. Okay, cool. This is information. This is valuable information. Softening of prices, Robert said. So we need to talk about this. You know what, guys, I found out, I don't know if it's blasphemy or what, but real estate people and mortgage people are scared to say that home prices are coming down. By the way, it's not a crash. If you pull up a chart of Apple, one of the most valuable companies in the world, look at the chart for 5 years, 10 years. It goes up over time, but there's these pullbacks along the way.
Yeah.
Right? Those are pullbacks. This is the same way that the most savvy investors get into assets, of quality assets for the long term. So you can explain this. It doesn't mean the home prices are crashing. It just means it's another pullback, and smart people are taking advantage of this. Here's how. Denise said it right here. Sellers are contributing more towards closing costs. That is a super important update for people if you break it down. Okay. So, but you know, the news will talk about this right now. Hey, there's a lot of rate cut news. 1% mortgage drop could be an unlock to the frozen housing market, says Oxford Economics, right? So you could talk about that. There are so many people waiting to make a move in the real estate market. And I believe, personally, this is my belief. This is my unique point of view, guys. I believe that 5.875 is a magic number that a lot of people will start making moves. So if we know that information, what should we be doing with that information? Here's how you should act now. If we feel that that moment is coming for the market, what should we be doing today? Guys, if you start doing and thinking like this, you will be established as a thought leader. Your competition just goes away. Right now, I'm not trying to be ego guy here. I'm just like everybody else. And if you look at my earlier videos, I used to suck as bad as anybody else. I would show you if we had time, but it's embarrassing how bad I was. Okay. But I would just tell you, I'm nothing special. I'm just like you guys. The only difference is I choose to share my information and my points of view every single day online. Someone's like, Neel, how do you have time to share, make a video? I'm like, bro, how do you have time to brush your teeth? I don't know. The video is just like for me walking from my car to the door. Sometimes I'm sitting in the studio with all our fancy equipment, but most of the time it's just with this phone right here. If you guys have a iPhone, it'll work. If somebody on the call still has an Android, it should work too. I'm not sure, but you can try that still, right? So just make sure that you guys are using what you have in your pocket. Don't get hung up on the details. I know so many creators who have built a massive influence with just this freaking thing in their pocket. But please wipe the lens first before you post a video, because otherwise it looks blurry. All right. So just wipe that out. By the way, I have a bunch of hooks to start your videos. If you guys want any of these, I don't have time to get into them right now. I just had this in from a previous presentation I did this morning. You can scan this or go to neelshooks.com and I'll just send you, it'll give you like 100 ways to start your videos, because I think that's the most difficult part for people in the industry. It's just like, what do I say to start it? If you start bad, nobody watches the video. If you start good, everybody watches the video. So I'll give you that resource here if you want to scan this. Okay, cool. So let me just wrap this up really quick, guys, and then we can move on. I don't have time to get into the connection today. I will get into how to connect the dots and other types of content you can make at the event in Dallas. Okay, but that's, I think, when is it, Todd? Is it 2 months from now?
October. Thanks, Neel. This is just gold. Mic drop. 14th through the 17th October in Dallas. It is exactly 8 weeks away. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go deep on all this stuff there. Plus, we're doing a workshop. But I just wanted you guys to know on the connection on the connection piece. We'll go over that there. And then right now, I want to share with you guys a quick call to action. I have 4 videos that are absolutely crushing right now. I'm going to go over one of them. And guys, when I figured this out, it was a game changer for me, also for my referral partners. It's proof that it works, but then also what happens is you can help. I love being in the mortgage industry because we have 2 ways to win. One way, we can go direct to consumer to get people pre-approved and start the process of buying a home. Also, we can start working on refis as rates improve. Cool. We get that whole benefit. The second piece that we get is we can also get business from agents. The number one way that our team gets business from agents is we help them do the thing that they need help with, which is this. But you have to be doing it. You have to be leading by example. And then what happens is it creates a dynamic where the realtor will ask you to go to coffee. Wouldn't that be cool, Todd? If you had people bringing you donuts instead of you going the other way around? And calling you once a week for 12 weeks to try and get you to take their referrals. Yes, that would be powerful.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if you hosted something like this? And by the way, I've been doing this for the last 6 years. It is my number one pillar of business. So let me give you guys one example. How many of you guys do DPA loans in your market? Give me a yes in the chat if you do DPAs. Yes? Okay, cool. So I do DPA. Our team does them. I just want to be real. Like we don't love DPA because it is a tougher deal. We make less money, but we love doing it because it makes a big impact. The thing about DPA, and these are one of my 4 biggest strategies right now that are getting the most leads. Okay. DPA is one, but there's other 3 that are not related to that at all. A lot of people don't do this one, which is why I want to show it to you, because they think that the leads are trash. What I found out, guys, is when we give people a free resource before we onboard them as a lead in our system, I ask, how much money do you have available for down payment? Nothing, 3 to 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever. A lot of people who opted in on a DPA funnel have 3, 5, 8% down. So they're not all quote unquote broke people who can't afford to buy a house. Like there's actually people with down payment, but they just wanted to know what programs are there to help them. They might've thought that you need 20% and now they thought like this can bridge the gap. So keep that in mind. It's not just going to be people with no money. But here's the video, and then there's the call to action at the end. I'll share with you guys. So did you know that the government is actually helping people buy homes right now? Like in the state of California, they get you $25,000 to cover your FHA down payment, or the state of Arizona, they get you $30,000, or like in Texas, they give you grants to cover your down payment that don't even have to be paid back. Nearly every state
state in the country has one of these programs, and then there's also federal programs to help you as well. I just saw one program where the state will match your down payment 4-to-1. So for every dollar you put up, they'll put up $4 to help you cover your down payment. Now, to keep track of all these programs throughout the entire country, I actually went through and made a cheat sheet of all the programs available in all 50 states. Whether you're looking to buy right now or even next year, knowledge is power, or in this case, money. So if you want to get access to this list, just comment the word home and I'll send it right over to you. So did you know that?
So people, when I do this, I have some business partners that ask for it, but a lot of homeowners ask for the guide. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people asking for the information. This is all handled by automation, by the way. I don't have time to show you all the tech, but we use AI and automation to handle this on the back end to automatically give them the stuff and follow up. And then we can use a quick screening method to determine the people that we want to, chase down, if we want to get them onto a webinar, if we want to get them onto a call. But the point of this is the thing I'm offering, I have found, guys, the thing that you guys are offering is essentially the thing that they don't want. You're saying, hey, call me, I'll give you the information. The only way to get the information is to book an appointment with me. We'll do a strategy thing. Come meet with me. The people on the internet want the opposite. They just want you to give them the goods. So you give them what they want, then you get what you want. People want DIY. Everybody wants DIY till you get the box home from IKEA and you open it up. Then you're like, gosh, dang it. I wish I could hire someone to come help me with all this stuff. When people get this list, they're like, oh shit, I don't know about it. Like, it's overwhelming. And they don't know the rules and the DTI and the credit score and all this stuff. So then I'm like, hey, remember that nice guy you met on social? I'm here to help. Now, is it true that most of the people will take the information and I'll never speak to them? That's fine. But it allows me to find the 12 people who do want to work with us. And I just run this play over and over. And I will just tell you guys, if you don't find a way to make money while you're sleeping, you will work until you die. My face, I have permanent bags under my eyes. My hair is gray. This business has a lot of stress. I've missed out on a lot of time with my family. Okay. No joke. I wish I had a better work-life balance. That's one of my biggest regrets as a 44-year-old man. I wish I spent more time with my family. I missed moments with my kids that I can never get back. Why? Because I was working on freaking mortgages all the time and obsessed with getting more business. And that's a sad truth of this business. It consumes you. And the thing that changed for me was in 2018, I said, I'm not going to spend another year doing the same shit. I'm going to try something new. And it changed my whole life, honestly, because now I get to be treated the way I felt I should have been treated all the way along. I get more business inbound than outbound. I get respect. We have more leads and we know what to do with. We can build a team, like all these kinds of things. It just changes the whole flow. So I need you to shift into that position of power. A lot of this stuff is just energy. And you'll get that confidence as you start to do this well. And the big thing you need to understand is visibility beats ability. People right now in our industry are making more money, getting more business, not because they're better than you, but because they're more visible than you. I used to complain about this shit all the time. The number one LOs in my market. I'm like, bro, I know way more than that person. I'm way better at their job than that person, but they get more deals. They're rich and I'm not. Why? Because they're more visible. Okay. So think about this. I don't have time to get into all strategy right now because we're short today, but I hope you got value from this and would love to see you guys at the event. I'm going to be there in 8 weeks in Dallas. Would love to meet you guys in person. And then we're doing something really cool. I've never done this before on somebody else's event. Obviously, some of you guys have been to Forward, so we do a lot of cool things at our event, but this is the first time I'm doing somebody else's event where we're going to do my talk, but then a special bonus thing just for the people who are on the call today who come to the event. So I'll let Todd tell you guys about that.
Yeah. Hey, Neel, awesome job. And hey, let's go to chat and just let's answer the same question. If you weren't here Tuesday, if you weren't here Wednesday, how many of you think that there's an extra 5 to 10 grand a month if you just follow Neel's advice today? Give me a big old yes.
Bro, look at the crazy part is the call to action worked so good on the replay. Yeah. Todd, that some of the people on the call want my guide right now. You know what I mean? Like there's people asking for the guide, the lead magnet on here. It works. If it works for you, imagine how it works for the average person.
I know.
And by the way, imagine this, like how to get the lowest rate, how to get sellers to pay all your costs, the new way to buy a home in 2025, seller consent, like all the things. You guys have rural home programs. Imagine if you're like, here's how to get the government to give you the money for to give you 100% of the financing. These are all lead attractors that get people into the funnel.
Yeah.
So and a lot of is the information that you guys give out readily anyways. It's like you guys are already doing this. And so it's like if we just put it on the internet and package it correctly, you win.
It's all good.
Here's that
And, you
link,
know,
Lisa. I put it in the chat if you want to get that those emails, the email
Yeah.
with the hooks. I think some people couldn't get it. I just put it in the chat if you want it.
So let's before we just go to a couple of Q&A questions for Neel, let's talk about something very, very real. This idea that, and I'm speaking to all of you right now, this idea that Neel has just packaged. The most important part that I heard was that his biggest regret is working and not making money while he slept. And the fact of
Yes.
the matter is that I've been in this business long enough to realize that people absolutely spend 10 or 20 years more than they need to spend and do it the wrong way to the exclusion of all the other things that are important. And at the end of the day, what would happen if you could do in a decade what the rest of the world takes 40 years to get done? That's what Neel is talking about right now. That's why sales mastery was invented. It wasn't invented to give you 100 ideas and go implement them with little to no success because you're trying to do too much. It gets down to the essentials that can give you your life back. Somebody in 2022 was on stage and they said, I'm following this idea of 24/7. And for me, what it meant is I want to work 24 hours a week and I only want to work 7 months a year and I want to make $1 million. Is that possible? And I said, not only is it possible, there's people doing it everywhere. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that you understand that this event, Sales Mastery, is about you. It is about helping you become everything you want to become as a result of what we do for a living. And so this is the only time.
And then one other thing, Todd, I want to tell you real quick. You can
Yeah.
you can wrap this up, but I just want to touch on what you just said. It's so important. I used to think it's bullshit when someone says work smarter, not harder. It is true. You can work smarter and hard. Now we can do both, smarter and harder, but you can. I think the new model, it used to be like grind harder was the advice I would say. Make more calls, knock on more doors. The new model is to work smarter. Like there is a shortcut if you're doing the right activities, if you're doing things that scale your business and your communication. You need to switch your mode from like speaking one-to-one always to speaking one-to-many. Right now I'm speaking to 180 people. So that's way more opportunity for you. If people like you on a one-to-one basis, they're going to love you on a 1-to-20 basis, a 1-to-50 basis, a 1-to-100. So that's all we're saying is take the same things, put them in the right package, put them on the internet, put them on Zoom, put them on YouTube. Those are the types of things that are working today. And fortunately for us on this call, unfortunately for the industry will sleep on this. I don't know what it is, Todd, but there's people that just won't adapt. And I feel bad, honestly, because I talk to people all the time and they're like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing this. And while people are thinking, we're executing.
Right. That's very powerful. And the thing that I want to share as a pickup on what Neel just said is when we talked yesterday about filling your funnel with future buyers, Neel crushed that in today's talk. He talked about the idea that rates are coming down, refis are going to come back. He talked about the idea that today's buyers are going to be taking action in 90 days, 100 days, 200 days, whatever it might be. And that's why taking this POV thing, taking this discipline of consistency every day, as Neel has done, has gotten him the results he's gotten. And so I believe, like Neel, if you were just to guess on how big your future purchase funnel is by doing social, what would you guess? What would you guess the number of people that might be in that community that are?
Well, here's the crazy part, guys. There's a lot of people who dabble in it, but they're not really doing it. I always said this, guys, 80% effort gets you 80% results. 100% effort gets you 1,000% results. Why? Because the last 20%, nobody does that.
Yeah.
Nobody says, okay, well, what's the right way to package this? Hey, that idea Neel said where he puts the article on the front? I'm actually going to try that. Instead of just popping on social and just rambling, I'm actually going to try to do this better. Instead of saying it in 3 minutes, I could probably tell the same thing with more concise communication in 40 seconds online. I'm going to try that. Those people, Todd, it's like, bro, I can count on one hand the number of people in my market that do it. In some markets, for people on this call, they may not be anybody doing it properly. You can be the one. And I've never seen anything like that in 20, 30 years in this business.
Yeah.
I hate saying that. It makes me feel old, by the way, when I say I've been in the business 20 years. I'm like, dang. But I got in the business literally 20 years ago.
1980.
I got in 2002 or 3, and I feel old. I can only imagine how old you feel, Todd.
I feel so young right now. Let's go. All right. So here's the deal, guys.
But yeah, I'll let you tell them about the event because I'm excited. This is going to be so freaking awesome.
It's just everybody said yes to 5 to 10,000, and you deserve to have the life of your dreams. You deserve to not work harder just to get, stay even. You deserve to have an X factor in your life and in your business. And so what we've done is we have decided that we are going to give this group, only the group that was here this week, we're going to give them access to Sales Mastery, which is $12.95 retail, $8.95 early bird. We're doing it for $595. These are a lot of the speakers are going to be on stage. There's another 25 people behind here that are going to be on panels and interviews and things along those lines. I have never, since I launched the event in 1992, watched anybody walk away from the event without being supercharged and actionable with these ideas that are game changing. So I'm going to give you just a little taste of what the event looks like, and then you guys understand Let's Go is your code. You're going to be invited to these private sessions with Brian and Denise and Neel, and then we're going to have a winner that's going to be invited to our VIP dinner. So check the video out, and then we'll get a couple questions with Neel.
I'm ready to go. I got to go. I'm going to tell you all about it. Watch me now. I'm ready to go. Look out below. I'm going to show you all about it. Watch me now. I'm ready to go.
You got to be brave. You got to be bold. You got to step out.
Hear the right message for you at the right time that you can act on it and change your life.
I got a feeling that is so divine.
It's all about market share. There's not enough for everybody, but there's enough for you here. Hell the rest. Sorry, they're not here.
So come on, tell me what you heard. What you heard. I'm ready.
All right. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. So the actionable link is in the chat, and we want all of you. There's 174 of you. You deserve to be there. We want all of you to buy a ticket, cheapest price that we can offer. We're going to go deep with these brain trusts like Neel and Denise and Brian and 20 more people and these amazing keynote speakers. But the thing I would say to everybody is choose to live without regret. Whatever you don't like, whatever thing you wish you had a do-over on, you don't have do-overs on many of these things, but you definitely have a chance to do better, right? So that's what we want to offer you today. Take action today. $595 is not going to last. It's done today. So come and join us at Sales Mastery.
Hey guys, one other thing I'll tell you too is, and Todd's going to probably let you know, but these guys are relentless. I'll tell you right now, Don, Marnie, Todd, everyone putting on this event, Gino, they're great people. I've been to the event. I think I spoke at the event 2-3 years ago, and I've been there every year after. But I will tell you this.
We always have
like,
you there,
we got to do something more this year. What could we do more? And I'm like, guys, I'm freaking busy, and then they kept calling like, hey, how do we do more? So they kind of twisted my arm, whatever, in a nice way. And I love I love people who are pleasantly persistent. Okay. I love that, because that's how I get a lot of shit done too. But they said, Neel, what else could we do to give these people? And I was like, well, big room, I can teach a lot, but then if we could somehow teach them more, and the people, it's always like this. There's a lot of people in a room, and that, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of loan officers and real estate partners there. But then there's probably a small group of them that really want to take this seriously. So I was like, well, what if we did this? At lunch, I'm speaking right before lunch or so, something like that, within the lunch, before the morning session. Then at lunch, it's a 90-minute lunch. Why don't we do like a 30-minute lunch and learn kind of vibe? And I will take those small group of people who want to implement stuff, and we'll do a little implementation session on how to start getting this stuff into your business and actually get this stuff going, not just in the clouds, but like in the dirt. Here's what we need to do next. Yeah. And so for everybody here, what we're going to do is, like, we can't do that for the whole room. There's not enough. It just won't work. It has to be a small group. So for anybody here who wants to be a part of it, the people who get their ticket during this session, if you already did on the last 2-3 days, we're just going to limit it to those people. Now, if you already had a ticket from before, and before you even came on this call, and you want to let them know in the chat, you can. But if you were like, hey, I need to figure out if I want to go or not. Well, if you decide today, then you can be in the room when we do this implementation workshop there. And that'll just help people take action. That's all.
And I want to say something just from my heart. I think that's been a message all week long. The idea of somebody asked me, what's the best advice you ever got when you were a young loan officer? And my mentor said, however much you want to make, be prepared to invest 10% of that number into building the business. And I started looking at events and I didn't see it as a cost. I started looking at magazines and books. I didn't see it as a cost. I saw it as an investment. And I will tell you straight up, and Neel, I'd love your comment on this. There's no better business for you to invest in than the business called you. And I'm not talking just about the business and the money. I'm talking about have your best life, be balanced, have margin in your life, have freedom in your life, have joy in your life. And it is a hard business, but when you do it the right way for the right purpose with the right strategy, and you just replicate that strategy, Neel's got these 4 videos that are just quote crushing it. And he said, I just run that playbook. I just run that playbook. And that's all you have to do. So you're worth it. If you invest in yourself, it's the ROI of one more deal pays for everything. And the beauty of the rest of the business you're going to be able to do is going to create this joy and margin in your life where you have more time because you are making more money and you are working less hours and you're having more fun. And at the end of the day, Neel, that's what I see you doing. You're just consistent like nobody's business, and you're valuable. Your knowledge base is simple. You take ideas and you take news and you repackage it and you connect and you inspire. And this has been beautiful. So let's go to the group.
Awesome, man.
Put your digital hand up.
Don had a question here, or he had something to say just to add to this.
Yeah, I just, I even put my hand up because I'm taking notes, as I always do when I listen to Todd and Neel. But because you were opening from your heart, and Todd, I'm so thankful for getting to partner with my mentor, and you've changed my life. You've changed millions of people's lives. And from my heart, we need this more than ever. I've been in this business almost 40 years. I've seen a lot of ups and downs. And this has been one of the most challenging because usually it's about 2.5 years. This has been 3 challenging years. So we need this community, this camaraderie, this get re-energized, new ideas, fresh ideas that are working in today's market. Because a lot of you are like, I'm waiting for the market to go back to normal or change. There is a new normal. It's not going back to the way it was. Trust me, Gino and I are still in the grind. We work with teams. We have loan officers that are on our teams. We understand your plight and the change in the market. And fortunately for Gino and I, we get to work with amazing professionals like Todd and Neel and Denise and Brian, and we go on and on, that are absolutely crushing in this market. And we want to share that with you. You come to this event, it's not just to go to an event and hopefully get one idea. The networking that's involved, the people you meet. I have met people that have changed my life at this event. The sales mastery changed my career. I almost quit the business, but thankfully to Todd and so many great professionals, I learned how to do it right, how to be successful, how to enjoy it, how to duplicate myself. And now I've made an amazing career out of it. And I implore all of you to just be part of something bigger than yourself and get this renewed energy. Neel, when I went to your event, I walked out of there pumped, ready to charge. Yeah. There's no way someone's keeping up with me when I'm that pumped up and that charged up and have with all these fresh ideas. I have them sitting right next to me, Neel. I have 8 pages of ideas from your event.
Well, I'll just tell you this, guys.
Is a game changer.
Don, you said it, bro. It's like, you guys can't live a big life in a small environment. It's hard, when you're sitting out in the office, and a lot of us are by ourselves. I know COVID, like everybody kind of distributed themselves. So you got to get around the right people and get around people. That's the biggest thing for me, is like when I'm around the people who are doing things, makes me want to do things. It's kind of simple. Yeah. It kind of sounds kind of hokey, but it is. But no one's doing this stuff. It's really hard to motivate yourself to do this stuff. Troy said it's a lonely garage. Yeah, it feels like you're on an island out there, and less people coming in. Even in the big offices that we have, when I go to speak at places, they said, like, dude, it's a ghost town. A lot of places, people just are kind of in their own world nowadays. I miss that about the pre-COVID of like everybody being in the collaboration and high-fiving each other. Those days are kind of past, and so I think we got to get back to that.
Look what Kathleen said in chat just now.
Yeah.
Please,
by the way, guys,
I'm done working 70 hours. So, you know what, guys, let me tell you something. I'm at the Aria Hotel in Vegas right now. I've got a house here that had a sewage flood a month ago, and so I'm dealing with some issues. But the closest Starbucks was at the convention center, and I bought 2 coffees today, and it was $22. I've never paid so much for coffee in my life. And then I started thinking, $22. Like, if somebody could invest in sales mastery and come and invest and have that attitude, it would only be $11 a day. If you take $5,000 and divide it by 300, you're worth every single penny. So I just had that, like, wow, we need to be there. We need to be.
And the other thing, Todd, is like, you talk about, just like, even, obviously we'd love everyone comes on here to the event. The reality is most people don't show up to things these days. They don't go to things, and that I get that too. So for those of you who aren't coming, A, you should, but B, like, just take something that you learned over the last 3 days and implement it. That's going to be it's just one thing. I think a lot of people think you need a big change to make it, difference in your business. It's small. Like, a lot of people ask me, bro, what's your big goal, your 5-year goal or whatever? I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I just know that I know what I need to do today. I had it on my list today to do a few things. This being one of them, make an impact on these people that are on this call. I have to do a few more meetings today. I'm going to talk to some more clients. I just know if I take care of the work will take care of me. And so think about that, guys, like what you can do. And just really, I think I really want to get people fired up to get re-energized about this business and implement the tactics. But if you don't get the mind right, like, you're not gonna be able to do any of the stuff I tell you at all. I had this thing on my desk right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a note card to keep on my desk that says, stay ready and don't say no for the audience. People talk about refis coming up, right? Wouldn't it be cool if you had a list of thousands and thousands of people who are on your refi watch list ready to go right now?
Yes, refi watch list.
But wouldn't it be cool? Like, people wait for the things to happen and then they say they'll get ready. I have a motto that says, I stay ready. When news happens, guys, and there's always some news that's going to affect the industry, you can have such a windfall of audience growth if you are ready for the moment. So people will tell me, hey, I'll wait for the news flow to improve, then I'll start doing this. I'll wait for the rates to drop, then I'll start doing. No, you do it. And then when the event happens, you're ready. I started in 2018. I had a huge year. My biggest year to that point was 2019. Then 2020 bigger. Then 2021 massive windfall, right? Because rates were super low. 2022 great year as well, even though rates moved up a little bit. And then it tapered off. And I was still having like 7-figure years in a business where people were honestly struggling, right? But the thing that was really cool was I had these windfall years, and a lot of people will say, well, Neel, the only reason you had success in 2020, 2021 was because of rates. They were low. You make all these millions of dollars because rates are low. Well, I'm like, well, then why didn't you? I'm just curious. Why didn't you make $3, $4, $5 million during that time period? Why? Because you weren't ready for the moment.
Yeah.
You were there, and then you get the scraps. Somebody else is there with a freaking massive net to catch all these opportunities. Your database, your email marketing, your video. Like, I'm not waiting for things to happen. I'm just doing them every day. And so think about that, how you guys could, quote unquote, stay ready. Wouldn't it be nice to be good on video already when moments like this happen, where you could just flip out your phone? Like, a lot of people say, how do you have time? It gets so easy. That's when you talk about sales mastery. Mastery is when you make it look easy. What's difficult for others is easy for you. That's mastery. What's fun for me is work for you. That's mastery. It's fun for me to make a video. In the beginning, it was not. It's a pain in my ass. But like right now, I could just make the video properly and post it right now. So you get to a level of mastery where this just becomes like effortless. There's work involved, but it's not that big of a lift anymore. So the amount of time it takes you, I know people, the biggest complaint to me, Todd, is they don't have time. The amount of time it will take you drops like a brick out of a window when you get to the level of mastery. Yes. So I think about awareness, 100%. Implementation, mastery. A lot of people are in awareness. Then you start to implement, and then you get to mastery. That's the way. Aim. It's like aim your freaking gun right now. Awareness, implementation, mastery.
Well, there's nothing else to say, Neel. You've absolutely crushed it. And I will
and guys, really quick, just so we can connect with everybody here, Todd. Make sure you guys grab a video and tag us on social, so that way we can connect with everybody and stay motivated and help push each other.
That's it. It's important to be part of community. And the other thing is, I know a lot of you are sitting on this call going, I think I want to be there. I should be there. I know I should be there. But then you'll think about it and then we'll take action. We really want you to take action because we want you there. This group that will be at Sales Masters this year will be leading the charge in 2026. Trust me, it's exciting. It's gonna be fun. And I've never seen him so energetic for an event in my life. And he's been doing this for 30 years. So thank you for that, Todd. And Neel, thank you for being part of our event, of course. And such a good friend and such a giver in our industry. And that's what we're luckily surrounded by, a bunch of great humans.
All right,
guys, I'm going. You know what? I'm going to.
Let's all be Hall of Fame
Yeah, I'll see
players.
you guys in Texas, and I'm actually jumping on a thing. I'm doing a training for a whole group of agents in our market next for the National Association of Realtors in the Vegas area. I'm doing something for them right after this. So thanks for being here, guys. I'll see
Neel,
you.
thank you
in
so
Texas.
much, guys.
Ooh, thank you, Neel. You're awesome,
See you,
buddy.
Sales Master in Dallas.
Yeah. Great job, Todd. Thank you, everyone, for being part of our
Thank you.
community.
Thank you. See you guys.